back to Legacy Markets. We are being joined by Ms. Yolanda Gongora, CEO in the Ministry of Education. Ms. Yolanda, for those viewers who are not familiar with the increment system, can you kindly explain it for us?
Okay, the increment system is awarded to a teacher based on performance. And during the course of the school year, the teacher should be appraised twice, midterm or mid-year, and at the end of the year. Using those two appraisals, then the increment certificate is filled out based on the results. And then once the teacher meets a grade of 2.5, the teacher is awarded an increment at the end, at the beginning of whatever is the period of their incremental date. So teachers might have an increment any month of the year based on their employment date. So if I began the system October 2023, then I would qualify for an increment October 2024. Again, the word is qualified, meaning that you must be appraised and then your performance must be at the number to qualify for that increment. The amount of increment is determined based on the pay scale that you're on. So it ranges across for the different pay scales that teachers are on.
Has there ever been a time that a public service worker does not receive an increment?
Yes, there has been times that teachers probably have not received an increment based on performance. Let's say that they fall below the 2.5 grade, then they might forfeit the increment for that year. It could also be that teachers may lose an increment based on process of disciplinary proceedings. That can be an option that is in the regulations. And when there's an increment freeze, that would be another time that our teachers would not qualify for an increment.
In 2020, public officers experienced a freeze in salary increments. Still, the House of Representatives made that decision official in April 2023 through an amendment to the Public Sector Emoluments and Allowances Reduction Act to unfreeze all salaries. Can you give us an update on that?
Okay, as you're aware, we met with the union when we were looking at how we can continue to work on the approvals. There were some challenges in that some of these schools had not submitted increment certificates for the past 3 years. So there were some check and balances that had to be made. Up to last week, I had asked my office where we are as it relates to the approvals of the increments, and we are almost 100% in approving all the increments for the teachers. Now, once the increment is approved, it goes back to the management, and then the management does the paperwork with submission either to the Ministry of Finance, and that would be through our Ministry of Education Financial Office. But when it comes to secondary schools, the financing of secondary schools right now is based on a grant. So the grant is submitted to the school, and the schools use the grant to be able to pay the increment. So there's a slight difference on how primary school teachers would get their increments processed in comparison to secondary schools and tertiary institutions. Both of those receive grants, be it a government school. Because if you're in the secondary school system, the financing mechanism is a formula, and this is across the board. Whether you're a government school or a grant-aided school, you would receive a grant. However, in the tertiary institutions, if you're a government institution, you get 100%. If you are a grant-aided or government-aided institution, then you will get 70% of the grant.
Thank you for giving us that update. I'm going to assume that there has been a conversation between the ministry and the union. Can you confirm that there was a conversation? And if so, how did that conversation go?
Certainly. We had a conversation in December, and we made some commitments to the Belize National Teachers Union. They have written us with the updates, and we are putting those documents together or data so that we can provide them with the information as we move forward.
Well, thank you so much, Ms. Gongora. We are running out of time, but is there any other good news that you can share with the viewers when it comes to your ministry? There
are so much things that we are doing as it relates to transforming education in Belize. There are a number of strategic priority areas that we are addressing, and I would like to focus on the area number 2, reforming the education system. Currently, we're going across the country, from district to district, inviting all teachers, affording the teachers an opportunity to come to a forum where we are sensitizing them as it relates to the policies that govern their employment. So this is an opportunity for teachers to take advantage, to come and hear what are the documents that we are using, what are the education laws that they need to be familiar with. In 2000, we had the education rules signed into law. In 2010, the Education Act changed. It was amended, revised, and in 2012, we had an amendment to the regulations. A number of things have changed since then, particularly COVID has taught us that we can do things a little bit different and better, and digitally. And so it is more than time opportune at this moment for us to give the teachers an opportunity to be heard. In making decisions, is important for us to also listen. So I would like to encourage your teachers, when you're participating, listen to what we are saying so that you can go back within your school community and you can look at the areas that are affecting you, look at the areas that are a success that we can continue to contribute to the development of our country. And when we return at the second round of sessions, it would be more a consultation process where we then can take your recommendations and put them in a draft that we can review and agree upon. And so we are inviting all to be a part of this initiative. This is a great opportunity for us to continue to make education work for Belize.
Well, that is definitely excellent news, and I look forward to seeing more of you and your ministry. So thank you once again, Ms. Gongora, for joining us today, especially during your busy schedule.
Thank you for the opportunity as well. We appreciate it.
When we return, we'll have Rafia with sports.